What if a secret Christian sect in the Armenian mountains held knowledge so dangerous that both the Byzantine Empire and the Church unleashed armies to wipe them from existence? Imagine torch-lit fortresses perched on jagged cliffs, hidden manuscripts smuggled under threat of death, and armored soldiers hunting down heretics whose only crime was refusing to bow to imperial dogma. This is the story of the Paulicians Armenia's forbidden heretics who defied empires, rewrote the rules of faith, and left behind a legacy so explosive the Church still shudders at their name. Tonight, you're about to enter a world where lost scriptures, cosmic conspiracies, and spiritual warfare collided in a battle that shaped the secret history of Christianity. The Paulician saga begins in 660 AD, in the shadowy crossroads city of Samosata, where Armenia, Byzantium, and the Islamic Caliphate all collided in a storm of espionage and religious intrigue. Here, a humble deacon named Constantine Silvanus stumbled upon the letters of Paul, not the sanitized versions preached in imperial cathedrals, but radical texts brimming with warnings about false apostles and cosmic forces of darkness. Convinced that the mainstream church had been hijacked by corrupt powers, Constantine took up the apostolic name and gathered a band of followers determined to restore the true Christianity of Paul. They adopted the names of Paul's companions, Timothy, Titus, Epaphroditus, meeting in secret, whispering coded prayers, and hiding from the ever-watchful eyes of imperial spies. Armenia was a land caught in the jaws of empire crossroads where armies marched and borders shifted with every generation. The Paulicians thrived in this chaos, carving out hidden enclaves in mountain strongholds and developing a network of safe houses stretching from the Black Sea to the Mediterranean. Their mission was nothing less than revolutionary: to expose the church as a corrupted machine of power and to awaken the elect with forbidden knowledge that could shatter the prison of the material world. They believed the world was ruled by an evil demiurge, a false god who trapped souls in flesh and illusion. Salvation, they claimed, didn't come from rituals or priests, but from gnosis, direct knowledge of your divine origin, passed down from the Apostle Paul himself. The Paulicians rejected everything the Byzantine Church stood for. They denounced the Old Testament as the work of the false creator, refused to venerate icons or relics, and called the cross a tool of torture, not salvation. Jesus, they claimed, was not God incarnate, but an angelic messenger sent to teach the secret path to freedom. Their rituals were stripped of all hierarchy: no bishops, no priests, no ornate cathedrals, just circles of believers sharing revelations in hidden caves. They even allowed women to lead, teach, and hold authority, an unthinkable scandal in the medieval world. To the empire, these beliefs were pure heresy. To the Paulicians, they were the keys to spiritual liberation. The Byzantine response was swift and merciless. Constantine Silvanus was stoned to death by his own followers, forced by imperial agents to choose between their leader and their lives. But martyrdom only fueled the fire. The Paulician movement exploded across Armenia, drawing in peasants, nobles, and outcasts, all united by a hatred of imperial oppression and church corruption. They developed their own coded texts, their own currency, and even their own underground schools. When the empire intensified its crackdown, the Paulicians didn't just hide, they fought back with a ferocity that stunned their enemies. The 9th century brought the movement to its blood-soaked climax. Empress Theodora, obsessed with stamping out heresy, unleashed what can only be called a genocide. Entire villages burned, families torn apart, survivors marched into slavery or executed by the tens of thousands. Imperial records boast of 100,000 Paulicians killed or exiled, but the real number may have been even higher. Yet the Paulicians refused to die. Under the leadership of the legendary Karbeas, they escaped into the mountains and forged an independent state, Tephrike, a fortress republic that defied both Byzantium and the Caliphate for over a century. Here, Paulician warriors invented new tactics of guerrilla warfare, formed alliances with Arab commanders, and launched daring raids into imperial heartlands. Tephrike was more than a military threat. It was a living experiment in forbidden theology. Women shared power with men. Wealth was distributed communally. Spiritual partnerships replaced traditional marriage. The Paulicians created their own laws, their own coins, their own system of justice. For the first time in centuries, a Christian society existed entirely outside the grip of church and empire, a direct challenge to everything the authorities claimed was sacred. But empires don't forget. In 872, Emperor Basil I unleashed a final campaign of annihilation. Tephrike fell after a brutal siege. Karbeas died in battle. Survivors were scattered to the winds. The Byzantine chroniclers celebrated their victory, painting the Paulicians as bloodthirsty fanatics, devil worshippers, and traitors. Church historians dismissed them as ignorant peasants led astray by false prophets. But the truth was far stranger and far more dangerous than the official story ever admitted. The Paulician legacy refused to die. Refugees carried their teachings west into the Balkans, where they inspired the Bogomil movement, another underground sect hunted by church and empire. From there, the forbidden knowledge spread to France, giving birth to the Cathars, whose dualist heresy would one day terrify the Vatican itself. Archaeological digs in former Paulician lands have uncovered sophisticated manuscripts, secret symbols carved into mountain stones, and evidence of a society more advanced and resilient than the empire ever imagined. Their story is a warning. Ideas are harder to kill than people, and forbidden knowledge has a way of surviving even the most brutal attempts at erasure. But here's the question that haunts the ruins of Tephrike. What lost texts, what secret rituals, what hidden truths did the Paulicians take with them into oblivion? How many times have empires rewritten history to bury inconvenient movements, to silence voices that refuse to bow to power? And if the Paulicians could defy two of the world's greatest empires for centuries, what other secrets still lie buried in the mountains of Armenia, waiting to be uncovered? If you're still watching, you're one of the rare few who refuses to accept the official story. So, what do you think? Were the Paulicians the true heirs of an ancient, forbidden Christianity? Or just another heresy crushed by the machinery of the empire? Drop your wildest theories and questions in the comments below. I want to hear what you think about this lost chapter of forbidden history. If you crave more secrets the church tried to erase, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell, because next time we're exposing another conspiracy that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the past. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and never stop searching for the truths they tried to bury.